You ever notice how people only value something after it's gone? Funny, isn't it? The way they treat you like nothing until they realize you were everything. They take and take and take, treating you like an option, like a goddamn afterthought. And the moment you walk away, the second you decide you're done, that's when they wake up. That's when they start looking for you in everyone they meet. Oh, they'll try. They'll search in every new handshake, in every fake smile, in every empty hug. They'll crave the way you used to understand them, how you saw their demons and didn't flinch. But here's the punchline. They'll never find you, not in a million lifetimes, because what you gave, that was one of a kind. And once you leave, you don't come back. You think they care about you now? No, no, no. They care about what you did for them. They care about how you made them feel. See, people are selfish little parasites. They drain you dry and then cry when the well runs empty. They want the warmth, the comfort, the loyalty, but they never reciprocate. You ever see someone truly appreciate what they have while they have it? No. They take it for granted every single time, until one day you're just gone. No more calls, no more texts, no more saving their sorry asses from their own mess. And that's when they start to notice the silence. That's when it hits, the absence, the emptiness. They look around and realize that every other person they meet is just not you, and it eats them alive. Oh, they'll act fine at first. A little shrug, a little whatever, I don't need them. But then the nights get colder, the voices in their head get louder, and every damn place they go, you're there. Not in flesh and blood, no, but in the memories, in the echoes of everything you once were. And no matter how hard they try to replace you, no matter how many people they run to, the void remains. That's when they break. That's when regret wraps its fingers around their throat, squeezing, suffocating. That's when they start whispering your name like a prayer, hoping the universe will rewind time and put you back in their hands. But time doesn't play nice. And you're not a goddamn boomerang. See, people always assume they'll get another chance, that they can hurt you today and you'll still be there tomorrow. But some exits, they're final. Some losses, they don't come with a second round. And once you understand your worth, once you finally get sick of the half-assed love, the empty apologies, the bullshit excuses, you leave. And when you do, you leave for good. You know what the real tragedy is? They don't lose you when you walk away. They lost you the moment they stopped appreciating you. They lost you when they let their selfishness outweigh their loyalty. They lost you when they made you feel like you were replaceable. And that's the part they never see coming. Because people like you, you don't come around twice. You're not some cheap imitation they can pick up on a whim. You're the kind of presence that lingers, the kind of soul that leaves scars on their memory. You're the reason they'll never look at anyone else the same way again. Oh, they'll wish for you in every conversation, in every passing face. They'll scan the crowds hoping to catch a glimpse of someone, anyone, who makes them feel the way you did. But they'll fail every single time. And you'll be long gone, somewhere better, somewhere they'll never reach, because the biggest mistake they ever made was thinking you'd stay forever. You know what's funny? People swear up and down that they'll never lose you. They promise forever, paint pretty little lies with their words, make you believe that you are different. But the truth? The truth is, people don't appreciate things until they're left holding nothing but memories. They don't notice the warmth until they're choking on the cold. They don't see the value of gold until their hands are empty. They take kindness as weakness. They think just because you were always there, always listening, always caring, that you always will be. They mistake loyalty for servitude, mistaking your patience for an invitation to keep pushing. They cross line after line, thinking there won't be a final one. And when you finally reach your limit, when you snap, when you walk away, that's when the panic sets in. That's when they realize they screwed up. But by then, it's already too late. See, people are creatures of habit. They build their little worlds, stack their little routines, fill their lives with things they don't even bother to understand. And when someone like you walks in, someone real, they don't even know what they've got in their hands. They treat you like another replaceable part of their machine, thinking they can swap you out, trade you in, find another copy. But you're not a machine. You're not some interchangeable piece in their pathetic little game. You were the only one. And now that you're gone, they'll search for you in everyone, and they'll fail every single time. Oh, they'll meet new people. Of course they will. That's the nature of things. But let me tell you something. No one will ever hold them the way you did. No one will see their darkness and still stay. No one will understand them the way you did. No one will tolerate their storms the way you did. No one will be willing to fight for them the way you did. And that's the part that's going to haunt them. Because now, every touch will feel wrong. Every conversation will feel forced. Every laugh will sound hollow. They'll start comparing. They'll compare. All right. Why don't they get me like you did? Why doesn't their voice sound like yours? Why doesn't their presence feel like home? And the worst part? The part that's gonna tear them apart from the inside out? They'll never be able to tell those replacements the truth. They'll sit across from some new face, some new body, and pretend. Pretend they're fine. Pretend they don't feel the emptiness eating them alive. Pretend they're not still searching for pieces of you in someone who will never even come close. And every night, when the lights go out and the distractions fade away, when they're left alone with nothing but their thoughts, that's when the weight of it will hit them. That's when the regret will claw at their chest like a caged animal, ripping, tearing, screaming inside their ribs. And no matter how much they try to silence it, no matter how much they drown themselves in cheap imitations, the truth will remain. They lost you, and they will never get you back. Because here's the thing about people like you. You don't do second chances. Once you leave, once you decide you're done, there's no going back. No rewinds, no resets, no maybe one more try. You gave them their chance. You gave them all their chances, and they threw them away like garbage. And now they get to live with that. They get to wake up every morning knowing they had something rare, something real, and they let it slip through their fingers like sand. They get to watch other people treat you better, appreciate you more, love you the way they never did. They get to see you thrive without them, succeed without them, become more without them. And that's the worst punishment of all. Because now every time they see you, every time your name comes up, every time someone asks about you, they'll be reminded. They'll be reminded of every moment they took for granted, every time they ignored your worth, every time they let their own selfishness blind them. And the jealousy, the bitterness, the regret, it'll eat them alive. But you won't even notice, because you'll be too busy winning, too busy living, too busy proving that you never needed them, that you were always destined for something greater. And them? They'll be stuck in the past, reliving their mistakes, whispering your name into the void, hoping, praying that somehow, somewhere, you'll still be there. But you won't be. And that's what's going to destroy them. Not your anger, not your silence, not your distance, but the fact that they will never find another you. Not in this lifetime, not in the next, not ever. They'll wish for you and everyone they meet, but never find you. And by the time they realize that, you'll be nothing more than a memory they can't escape. People always think they have time. They move through life like they own it, like they can afford to waste good things, like they can mistreat the people who care and get away with it. They push you away, ignore you, make you feel small, like you're just another replaceable name on their list. But the funny part, the part that makes me laugh, they only realize what they had when it's gone. They don't lose you when you walk away. No. They lost you the moment they started taking you for granted. The moment they assumed you'd always be there. The moment they thought you'd tolerate their selfishness, forever. And when you finally had enough, when you finally left, that's when the pain started for them. That's when their little fantasy came crashing down. Oh, they'll try to act tough. They'll tell themselves it doesn't matter, that they don't need you. They'll distract themselves with new faces, new places, new people, thinking they can fill the void with empty replacements. But the joke? The joke is that they're not just missing anyone, they're missing you. And you? You don't come around twice. They'll wake up one morning and suddenly, the world will feel off. The coffee won't taste the same. The silence will be louder. The laughter will feel forced. Every conversation will be empty. Every touch will feel wrong. Every moment will remind them of what they lost. And it'll haunt them. Oh, it'll eat them alive. Because here's the truth they never saw coming. You weren't just another person in their life. You were the only one who truly understood them. The only one who saw them for who they were. Flaws, scars, darkness, and all. And still, you stayed. You listened. You cared. And they threw it all away. They thought you were replaceable, that they could find another you, just like that. But what they don't realize, what they never realize, is that souls like yours, they're one of a kind. They don't come back. They don't get second chances. And now, they're left searching for pieces of you in people who will never even come close. They'll go on dates with strangers, sit across tables with people who smile but don't see them. They'll talk, they'll laugh, they'll pretend. But deep down, every single time, they'll be thinking, this isn't them. This isn't the same. This will never be enough. And it'll drive them insane. Because every time they hear a certain song, smell a certain scent, pass by a certain place, it'll be you in their head, you in their heart, you in every goddamn memory they wish they could erase but can't. And the worst part, they won't even be able to tell anyone. They'll sit there, silent, drowning in the regret, unable to explain why nothing feels right anymore. Because no one will understand. No one will get it, no one but you. But you're not there anymore. You've moved on. You've grown. You've built a life without them. A life they can't reach. A life they can only watch from the outside. And that is what's going to destroy them. Because people like you don't beg, you don't plead, you don't go crawling back. Once you're done, you're done. And no amount of tears, no amount of regret, no amount of I miss you will ever bring you back. And they'll realize, too late, that losing you wasn't just losing a person. It was losing a once-in-a-lifetime presence. A presence that made life richer, deeper, realer. A presence they'll crave until their last breath. Searching, hoping, waiting for a miracle that will never come. Because the truth is brutal, but it's simple. They will wish for you in everyone they meet, but they will never find you. Not in this life, not in the next, not ever. You ever notice how people act like they'll always have you? Like they own time? Like they can keep disrespecting you, keep neglecting you, keep pushing you away, and you'll just stay? Oh, it's cute. It's real cute how they assume you don't have limits. How they take your patience for weakness. How they think your loyalty is just another leash they can yank on whenever they feel like it. But people like you, oh, you're not infinite. You're not a goddamn wishing well they can throw their problems into and expect magic to happen. You break, you bleed, you feel. And when you finally decide enough is enough, when you finally walk away, that's when the fun begins. Because people don't realize they've lost you right away. No. They're too stupid for that. They walk around with their arrogance, their pride, their little distractions, thinking they've got it all figured out. But life has a funny way of slapping people in the face. And when it finally hits them, when it finally dawns on them that you're not coming back, that's when the panic sets in. That's when the regret starts gnawing at their insides like a disease with no cure. Oh, they'll try to play it cool at first. Pretend they don't care. Convince themselves they made the right choice. But then the silence creeps in. The absence. The void. They start to notice the little things. The missing texts. The empty space where your presence used to be. The coldness in their chest where warmth used to exist. And suddenly, nothing feels right anymore. Because you weren't just anyone. You were the one who understood them. The one who listened, who stayed when everyone else left. The one who saw past their bullshit, past their masks, past the lies they told themselves. And now that you're gone, now that you're no longer there to hold their world together, they start looking, searching, hoping. They meet new people, thinking they can replace you, thinking they can fill that gaping hole in their life with someone else, anyone else. But every conversation feels shallow. Every laugh feels fake. Every touch feels wrong. Because deep down, in that rotten, miserable heart of theirs, they know the truth. They will never find another you. And that's what's going to haunt them. Not just losing you, but knowing they had something rare, something real, something once in a lifetime, and they let it slip through their fingers like sand. Oh, they'll remember every little detail, the way you laughed, the way you spoke, the way you looked at them with eyes that actually saw them, and it will drive them insane. Because no matter how many people they run to, no matter how many distractions they drown themselves in, every single one of them will feel like a cheap, hollow imitation. They will sit in rooms full of people and feel alone. They will stare at their phone, waiting for a message that will never come. They will replay old conversations in their head, desperately clinging to memories that time will only make more painful. And the worst part? The absolute worst part? They'll never be able to tell anyone. Because how do you explain missing someone you pushed away? How do you admit that the best thing you ever had was something you destroyed with your own two hands? How do you tell the world that you had everything and you threw it all away? They won't. They'll suffer in silence, suffocating under the weight of their own regret, choking on the memories of what could have been. And you'll be long gone, moved on, thriving, living the life they thought you'd never have without them. And that's what's going to break them. Not your anger, not your silence, not even your absence, but the realization that they will spend the rest of their miserable, pathetic existence searching for you in everyone they meet, only to find out over and over again that you were one of a kind, and they let you go. So now they get to live with it. They get to watch you from a distance, see you smiling, laughing, winning. They get to hear your name and feel that sting in their chest, that hollow ache that reminds them of everything they lost. And the irony, the cruel, twisted irony. They thought they were the ones leaving you behind. You know, people think they can play with fire and not get burned. They think they can push someone away, neglect them, treat them like an afterthought. And then, when the damage is done, they can just fix it. Like slapping a cheap bandage on a bullet wound. Like saying "I didn't mean it" erases the nights you spent questioning your worth. Like showing up with a half-assed apology undoes the scars they left on your soul. But here's the truth. The real truth they never saw coming. Some losses, they're permanent. Some exits, they don't come with a return ticket. And some people don't wait forever. They had you. They had you in the palm of their hand. A rare, irreplaceable, once-in-a-lifetime presence. And they squandered it, tossed it aside, assumed they could come back when they were ready, like you were some abandoned house they could walk into whenever it suited them. But they never realized some doors, once closed, never open again. Oh, but they'll try. They'll try. At first, they'll act like nothing happened, like they don't care. But time has a way of revealing what arrogance tries to hide. Slowly, reality will start to sink its teeth into them. The regret will start as a whisper, a fleeting thought. Then it will grow, gnawing, clawing, scratching at their mind. The nights will get longer, the silence will get heavier, and every face in every crowd will remind them of you. Because they will search. Oh, they'll search. Desperately, endlessly, pathetically. They'll scan every room, every conversation, every meaningless connection, hoping, praying to find even the smallest piece of you in someone else. But it won't work. It never works. Because what you gave them, that was once in a lifetime. And you don't get twice in a lifetime. They'll try to move on. They'll convince themselves that they'll find someone new, someone better. But here's the kicker. There is no one better. Not for them. Because no one will ever understand them the way you did. No one will tolerate their storms, stand in their darkness, and still choose to stay the way you did. Oh, but they won't realize that right away. No. People like them, they don't catch on fast. They'll hop from person to person, from distraction to distraction, thinking they're fine. But one day, one quiet, miserable day, it'll hit them hard, like a truck to the chest, like a knife twisting in their gut. They'll wake up and feel it, that emptiness, that absence. And suddenly, the world won't feel the same anymore. The food will taste bland. The music will sound hollow. The laughter will feel forced. Everything will be tainted by the ghost of what they lost. And that's when the nightmares will start. They'll dream of you, of conversations they took for granted, of moments they brushed off like they were nothing, of the way you looked at them, the way your presence made everything feel a little less suffocating. And then they'll wake up, heart pounding, reaching for something that isn't there anymore. And that's where the real suffering begins. Because regret is a disease with no cure. It eats them from the inside, rots them, destroys them in ways no physical pain ever could. Because it's their fault. They did this to themselves. They had someone who cared, someone who stayed when they had every reason to leave. Someone who chose them. And they threw it all away. And now they get to spend every waking moment realizing that they will never find another you. Oh, they'll wish. They'll wish harder than they've ever wished for anything in their miserable, pathetic lives. They'll whisper your name like a prayer, hoping the universe will give them one more chance. But the universe doesn't do favors for fools, so they will live with it. They will carry that regret like a corpse chained to their back. They will feel it in the pit of their stomach every time they meet someone new, and realize it's not the same. It will never be the same. Because what they lost, that wasn't just a person. That was a force, a presence, a warmth they'll never feel again. And you'll be long gone, unreachable, untouchable, thriving in a world where they are nothing but a distant, painful memory. And that's the real tragedy. Not your pain, not your suffering, not even the scars they left behind. The real tragedy is them, the ones who didn't realize your worth until it was too late. The ones who will spend a lifetime chasing ghosts, trying to recreate a feeling that only existed when you were in their life. People are blind. Oh, they think they see. They think they understand what they have. But the truth is, they only notice value when it's no longer in their hands. They waste good things, mistreat them, throw them aside like garbage until one day they wake up and realize they lost something they can never get back. They swear up and down that they appreciate you, that they care, that they'll never take you for granted. But when you're right there, when you're giving them your time, your effort, your presence, they don't act like it. They assume you'll always be around. They take and take, expecting you to keep pouring from an empty cup, thinking you'll never get tired, never get fed up. But everyone has a breaking point. And when you finally reach yours, when you finally walk away, that's when they start screaming your name. That's when they start feeling your absence. Oh, but by then it's too late. The door has closed. The chapter is ended. And you're gone. But them, they're stuck. Stuck with the regret, with the memories, with the realization that they will never, never find another you. They'll try, of course. They'll meet new people, convince themselves that they're fine, that they've moved on. But every conversation will feel empty. Every connection will feel shallow. Because the truth is, they don't miss just anyone. They miss you. And you're not replaceable. You're not some interchangeable part they can swap out when it's convenient. You were one of a kind, and now they're left chasing ghosts. They'll go searching in all the wrong places, trying to find someone who makes them feel the way you did. But no one will. Because people like you don't come around twice. You're the rare kind. The kind that loves deeply, that gives fully, that stands firm even when the world tries to break you. You were the one who listened, who understood them without needing words, the one who saw their darkness and didn't flinch, who stayed when others would have run. And now that you're gone, now that they've lost you, they will ache for you in ways they can't even put into words. And oh, how they'll suffer. The regret will come in waves. Some days it'll be a dull ache, a lingering sadness they can't quite shake. Other days, it will hit them like a sledgehammer, knocking the air from their lungs. They'll wake up in the middle of the night, reaching for a presence that isn't there. They'll replay old conversations in their head, remembering the things they said, the things they should have said. And they'll wish. God, they'll wish. They'll wish they had treated you better. They'll wish they had held on tighter. They'll wish they had seen your worth before it was too late. But wishes don't bring people back. They'll start to see the cracks in their own reflection, start to wonder how they could have been so blind, so careless. They'll watch as you move on, as you build a life without them, as you thrive. And that will destroy them. Because they thought they were the ones leaving you behind. But the truth is, it was you who left them. You who walked away and never looked back. And now, all they have is the empty space you once filled. Oh, but they won't admit it. No, their pride won't let them. They'll act like they don't care, put on a show, pretend they're doing just fine. But inside, they're unraveling. Every new person they meet will be compared to you. Every conversation will feel forced. Every touch will feel wrong. Because no matter where they go, no matter who they turn to, there will always be a void, a space only you could fill. And they will carry that for the rest of their lives. Because this isn't the kind of loss you get over. This isn't the kind of mistake you fix. This is the kind of regret that follows you like a shadow, that whispers in your ear at night, that reminds you over and over again that you had something rare, something real, and you let it slip through your fingers. And that's a wound that never heals. So they will keep searching, keep longing, keep hoping that maybe, just maybe, they'll find someone like you. But they won't. They never will. Because people like you don't come back. And once you're gone, you're gone.